The 24 Hours of the Passion. 24th hour, from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. The Burial of Jesus. Most Holy Desolate Mary. Preparation.
O my Lord Jesus Christ, prostrate in your divine presence, I implore your most loving heart to admit me to the sorrowful meditation of the 24 hours in which for love of us you wanted to suffer so much, in your adorable body and in your most holy soul, unto death on the cross. Oh please, give me help, grace, love, deep compassion and understanding of your sufferings, as I now meditate the 24th hour. And for those which I cannot meditate, I offer you my will to meditate them, and I willingly intend to meditate them in all the hours in which I have to apply myself to my duties, or sleep. Accept, O merciful Lord, my loving intention, and let it be beneficial for me and for all, as if I effectively and in a saintly way accomplished what I wish to practice. Meanwhile, I give you thanks, O my Jesus, for calling me to union with you by means of prayer. And to please you more, I take your thoughts, your tongue, your heart, and with this I intend to pray, fusing all of myself in your will and in your love, and stretching out my arms to hug you, I place my head on your heart, and I begin.
24th hour. From 4 to 5 p.m. The Burial of Jesus. Most Holy Desolate Mary.
My sorrowful Mama, I see that you dispose yourself to the final sacrifice of having to give burial to your lifeless Son Jesus. Most resigned to the will of God, you accompany him, and you place him in the sepulchre with your own hands. But as you compose those limbs and are about to give him the last goodbye and the last kiss, you feel your heart being torn from your breast because of the pain. Love nails you to those limbs, and by force of love and sorrow, your life is about to fade together with your lifeless Son.
Poor Mama, how shall you go on without Jesus? He is your life, your all.
Yet, it is the will of the Eternal One that wants it so. You will have to fight against two insurmountable powers, love and divine will.
Love nails you, in such a way that you cannot separate from him. The divine will imposes itself and wants the sacrifice.
Poor Mama, how shall you go on? How much compassion I feel for you. Oh please, angels of heaven, come to raise her from the stiffened limbs of Jesus, otherwise she will die. But, O portent, while she seemed to be extinguished together with Jesus, I hear her voice, trembling and interrupted by sobs, say, Beloved Son, O Son, this was the only relief which was left to me, and which halved my pains. Your most holy humanity, pouring myself out on these wounds, adoring them, kissing them. Now this too is taken away from me, because the divine will wants it so, and I resign myself. But no, Son, that I want it and I cannot. At the mere thought of doing it, my strengths leave me and life runs away from me. Oh please, O Son, so that I may have life and strength to be able to depart, allow me to remain all buried in you, and to take for myself your life, your pains, your reparations, and all that you are.
Ah! Only an exchange of life between you and me can give me the strength to make the sacrifice of departing from you.
So determined, my afflicted Mama, I see that you go through those limbs again, and you place your head in the head of Jesus. Kissing it, you enclose in it your thoughts, and you take for yourself his thorns, his afflicted and offended thoughts, and everything he suffered in his most holy head. Oh! How you would want to animate the intelligence of Jesus with your own, to be able to give life for life. You now begin to feel revived, by having taken the thoughts and the thorns of Jesus into your mind. Sorrowful Mama, I see you kiss the lifeless eyes of Jesus, and I feel pierced in seeing that Jesus no longer looks at you. How many times his gazes filled you with paradise, and made you rise again from death to life. And now, not seeing yourself gazed upon, you feel you are dying. Therefore you place your eyes in those of Jesus, and you take for yourself his eyes, his tears, and his bitternesses in seeing the offenses of creatures, and the many insults and scorns. But I see, my pierced Mama, that you kiss his most holy ears, and you call him over and over again, saying, My Son, how can it be that you no longer listen to me? You, who would hear my slightest motion? And now I cry, I call you, and you do not hear me? Ah! Love is the most cruel tyrant. You were more than my own life for me, and now I will have to survive so much pain? Therefore, O Son, I leave my hearing in yours, and I take for myself what you have suffered in your most holy hearing, and the echo of the offenses that resounded in it.
Only this can give me life. Your pains, your sorrows.
And as you say this, the pain and the grip on your heart is so great, that you lose your voice and remain motionless.
My poor mama, how much compassion I feel for you.
How many cruel deaths you suffer. But the divine will imposes itself and gives you motion. And you look at his most holy face, you kiss it, and exclaim, Adored Son, how disfigured you are. Ah! If love did not tell me that you are my son, my life, my all, I would no longer recognize you, so unrecognizable you are. Your beauty was transformed into deformity, your cheeks into bruises, and the light, the grace of your face, which was such that seeing you and remaining beatified was the same thing, has turned into paleness of death, O beloved Son. Son, how you are reduced! What an awful crafting sin has made upon your most holy limbs!
Ah! How much would your inseparable mama want to give you back your original beauty?
I want to fuse my face in yours, and take for myself your face, and the slaps, the spit, the scorns, and everything you have suffered in your most holy face.
Ah! Son, if you want me alive, give me your pains. Otherwise I will die.
And your pain is so great that it suffocates you, it breaks your speech, and you remain as though lifeless on the face of Jesus.
Poor mama, how much compassion I feel for you.
My angels, come to comfort my mama. Her sorrow is immense. It inundates her, it suffocates her, and leaves her no more life or strength. But the divine will, breaking through these waves, gives life back to her. You are now at the mouth of Jesus, and in kissing it, you feel your lips embittered by the gall which so much embittered his mouth. And sobbing, you continue, Son, say one last word to your mama. How can it be that I will no longer be able to listen to your voice?
All of the words you have spoken to me in life, like many arrows, wound my heart with sorrow and with love.
And now, seeing you mute, they put themselves in motion once again within my lacerated heart. They give me many deaths, and would want to snatch, by force, one last word from you. But not receiving it, they torment me, and they say to me, So, you will no longer hear him. You will no longer hear his sweet accent, the melody of his creative word.
He created as many paradises in me as words that he spoke.
Ah! My paradise is finished, and I will have nothing but bitternesses.
Ah! Son, I want to give you my tongue in order to animate yours.
Give me that which you suffered in your most holy mouth, the bitterness of the gall, your ardent thirst, your reparations and prayers. And so hearing your voice through them, my sorrow will be more bearable, and your mama will be able to live through your pains.
Tormented mama, I see you hasten, because those who surround you want to close the sepulchre. Almost flying, you take the hands of Jesus between yours. You kiss them, you press them to your heart, and placing your hands in his, you take for yourself the pains and the piercings of those most holy hands.
Then you fly over the feet of Jesus, looking at the cruel torture which the nails have made in them. And as you place your feet in them, you take for yourself those wounds, and you offer yourself to run towards sinners in the place of Jesus, in order to snatch them from hell. Anguishing mama, I see you give the last goodbye to the pierced heart of Jesus. Here you pause. It is the last assault to your maternal heart. You feel it being torn from your breast because of the vehemence of love and pain and, by itself, it runs to place itself in the most holy heart of Jesus. And you, in seeing yourself without a heart, hasten to take his most holy heart into yours. His love rejected by many creatures, his many ardent desires not fulfilled because of their ingratitudes, and the pains and piercings of that most holy heart, which will keep you crucified for the rest of your life. In looking at the wide wound, you kiss it, you lap up the blood, and feeling the life of Jesus in yourself, you have the strength to fulfill the bitter separation. Then you embrace him, and you allow the sepulchral stone to close on him. My sorrowful mama, crying, I pray you not to allow, for now, that Jesus be taken away from our gaze. Wait for me to first enclose myself in Jesus, in order to take his life within me. If you, who are the spotless, the all-holy, the full of grace, cannot live without Jesus, much less can I do it, who am weakness, misery, and full of sins. How can I live without Jesus? Sorrowful mama, do not leave me alone, take me with you, but first place all of myself in Jesus. Empty me of everything, in order to place all of Jesus within me, just as you placed him within yourself. Begin with me the maternal office which Jesus has given you on the cross. Let my extreme poverty break through your maternal heart, and with your own hands, enclose me completely in Jesus. Enclose the thoughts of Jesus in my mind, so that no other thought may enter into me. Enclose the eyes of Jesus within mine, that he may never escape from my gaze, and his hearing in mine, that I may always listen to him and do his most holy will in everything. Place his face within mine, so that, by looking at him so disfigured for love of me, I may love him, compassionate him, and repair his tongue in mine, that I may speak, pray and teach with the tongue of Jesus. His hands in mine, so that each movement I make and each work I perform may have life from the works and actions of Jesus. Place his feet in mine, so that each one of my steps may be a life of salvation, of strength and of zeal for the other creatures. And now, my afflicted mama, allow me to kiss his heart and to lap up his most precious blood. You yourself, enclose his heart in mine, that I may live of his love, of his desires, of his pains. Lastly, take the stiffened right hand of Jesus, that he may give me the last blessing. The stone closes the sepulchre. Tortured, you kiss it, and crying, you give him the last goodbye and depart. But your pain is so great, that you remain almost petrified as your blood runs cold. My pierced mama, together with you, I say goodbye to Jesus, and crying, I want to compassionate you and accompany you in your bitter desolation. I want to place myself at your side, to give you a word of comfort, a gaze of compassion at each sigh, strain and sorrow of yours. I will gather your tears, and I will sustain you in my arms, if I see you faint. But I see that you are forced to return to Jerusalem along the path from which you came. After only a few steps, you are already before the cross on which Jesus suffered so much, and died. You run to embrace it, and in seeing it colored with blood, the pains that Jesus suffered on it are renewed in your heart, one by one. Unable to contain the pain, you exclaim, "O cross, how could you be so cruel with my son? Ah, you have spared him nothing. What wrong had he done to you? You have not permitted me, his sorrowful mama, to give him even a sip of water, while he was asking for it, and to his parched mouth you gave gall and vinegar." I felt my pierced heart melt, and I wanted to offer it to his lips to quench his thirst, but I had the sorrow of seeing myself rejected. O cross, cruel, yes, but holy, because divinized and sanctified by contact with my son. Turn that cruelty which you used with him into compassion for miserable mortals, and for the sake of the pains he suffered on you, impetrate grace and strength for the souls who suffer, so that not one of them may be lost because of tribulations and crosses. Souls cost me too much. They cost me the life of a son God, and as co-redemptrix and mother, I bind them to you, O cross. And after kissing it over and over again, you leave.